All right, so we'll be doing something a little bit different. Um, so I like to blend up different yoga styles. So what I was thinking of trying to accomplish today was a combination of some yin poses, so deep stretching or longer stretching, I should say, adding in some isometric upper body work, which would then also encourage core engagement. So it's already something that's part of some yoga poses. So we're gonna add them to others and change the intention of some poses and see how that feels.
Good.
Because I feel like I could use some stretching. Yeah, Belly, you gotta stay out of the closet. Yeah, pop. Okay. You can stay in the room if you want. Okay. Julia, are we waiting for Dave?
No, he sends his regards and regrets. He has to get a physical this morning, and he's very hungry and very sad. He says all he wants is a donut, but he has to have someone touch his balls first. He's very sad.
That's a sad morning. Well,
Yeah.
I hope he can have a donut soon.
So do I.
That's a very miserable morning. Okay.
Yes.
Well, we'll dedicate this workout for Dave.
Okay, thank you.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. Sit in your easy seat and take a moment to get settled. Feel the weight of your body. Feel the weight of your body as it rests on whatever you're sitting on, blanket, mat, directly on the floor. Maybe you can even feel, if your mat's on the carpet, maybe you can feel sort of a softness of carpet underneath the mat. Notice your breathing. Doesn't need to change, just notice that you are. As you're breathing, notice what's moving. There are the obvious things, perhaps your belly, your rib cage, but notice the other things that move because of your breath. If you're leaning forward, see if you can just subtly move back and drop your shoulders. Make sure that your shoulders are over your hips, crown of your head is directly in line with your tailbone, creating a little bit more space for your belly to breathe. As you're breathing, notice the sensation of your clothing on your skin. Maybe you can feel it moving with your breath, moving against your skin. Bring your awareness to your belly, and maybe if you have pants or shorts or something on, maybe you can feel the waistband as you breathe. And stay with your focus on your belly. We're going to spend a lot of time with the belly today. And if you need to, find your belly button. just to know exactly when I'm talking about on your exhale, bring your belly button into your spine. Sometimes knowing where that is, but also just making that brain body connection and leaving some of your finger molecules, your finger particles on your belly button so that you can still feel that gentle pressure of your finger. So you know, yep, that's the part that on the exhale, I'm going to try to pull into my spine. And in doing that, you can feel perhaps the muscles around the belly button maybe coming around from the sides, just below your ribs. Maybe you can feel some movement coming from your hip bones. Different core muscles engage in order to draw your belly button into your spine. But don't get too caught up in the belly because you want it to let go on the inhale and then draw in on the exhale. And your inhale and exhale are slow enough that you have the time to let go of your belly. And there's plenty of time to engage it and draw it in on the exhale. Just for the moment, let's release that practice of body awareness. That's what we were doing. And let's start with our torso rotations. Big circles. Since you had your mind on your belly, maybe you can feel and sense different things. A body awareness practice is a great easy little meditation that you can do any time of day if you just simply want to practice your meditation, or if you need meditation, if you've got a moment of stressful moment or you feel like you're kind of losing control. Let's bring this rotation into the waist, bring it up higher into the rib cage. Come back to center, bring your other leg in front. Let's rotate in the opposite direction. Bring it up into the waist and higher up into the rib cage, making your way up your spine. And come back to center, grab onto your shins, rock over your sit bones, inhale, belly button forward, exhale it back. These movements also help stretch the front body in order to create more space and to tone those muscles for allowing your diaphragm to do a little bit better job of breathing. Bring your hands to your knees, inhale your chest forward, exhale it back. There are a lot of accessory muscles for breathing. Diaphragm's the primary one. but we like to have muscles that are able to move better between the ribs, the neck, shoulders, the back muscles, so the diaphragm doesn't have to work that hard. On the next inhale, lift your chin to the ceiling, drop your shoulders. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, lift your chin. Exhale, chin to chest. Once more, inhale, lift your chin. And exhale, chin to chest. Keep your chin against your chest. Drop your shoulders. Deep breaths. So this practice here is being able to breathe deeply. Your belly button expands, well, your belly expands, your ribs expand, and that will bring your chest up, but you do not need to draw your shoulders into your ears to breathe. If your shoulders are pulling up into your ears to breathe, then we need to work on other muscles to let those other muscles relax. Let's slide the chin to the left. Try to keep it against your chest. Notice any muscles that are stretching in your back body. And slide your chin to the right. These are muscles that we're maybe getting into when we do some of these yin poses this morning. Slide your chin to the left. Frequently for me, many of the yin forward folds are a really deep stretch for my back muscles and the ones that attach to my neck and skull. Slide your chin to the right. Lift your chin up and over to the left. And up and over to the right. Bring your head to center. Bring your left leg across your right leg. This can be deeper or tighter. You can bring your thighs together so that your knees are stacked. There are a couple different ways that you can do this. If bringing your thighs really close together isn't a thing, then you can also have your left foot on the floor. This can be seated more upright. Your leg is more upright for this. So wherever you're at, make sure that you're able to have a nice tall spine. If your spine isn't tall, then perhaps your hips are tight. So you'll need to sit a little bit higher, maybe on a folded blanket or a pillow. We're going to rotate to the left. And by rotating to the left here, your left hand is going to go to the floor. Press your left hand into the floor. So this is where we're starting this kind of isometric body. I don't want to say a movement because the whole point of isometrics is that you're not moving. So right elbow presses against the left knee if it's lifted. If you've got your legs crossed and thighs are together, right hand is pressing against the left knee. Press the left hand into the floor. Lengthen the spine away from the left hand. So by pressing into the floor, this is the isometric pressure. Nothing's moving. Lengthen up away from that. Deep breaths. Belly expands on the inhale, draws in on the exhale. Work on opening your chest, drawing your shoulder blades together. Keep pressing that left palm into the floor. Take a couple more breaths here. Look forward, look over your right shoulder and release. Let's do that on the other side. Right leg crosses over left, either thighs together or right foot pressing into the floor. Whatever feels best to you. What's going on with this right leg is secondary to what we're doing with the torso. Rotate to the right. Right hand presses into the floor, and some part of your left arm or hand is just gently pressing against the right leg, the right knee. Press that right hand into the floor. Lengthen up away from it. There's a gentle pressing, creating a little extra leverage with the left hand, the left arm. Deep breaths. Keep pressing down with the right hand, almost as if you're trying to press as much of your strength as possible into the right hand. Work on opening your chest, draw your shoulder blades together, or maybe feel the sensation of outwardly rotating your shoulders. It's subtle. Look forward, look over your left shoulder, and unwind. Both legs forward. Flex your feet. Hands go straight down from your shoulders. This is Dandasana. Press down into the floor with your hands. Maybe if your arms are longer than your torso, when you press down, you actually do get your butt off the floor. Minor proportion so that I can just, I'm still touching the floor, but I feel that I can at least release some of my body weight from the floor. If your hands, if your arms are shorter than your torso, then you can use fists. That'll get you right off the floor. You can also use 2 books that are the same height, or yoga blocks, of course. Breathe, belly breath. We'll take a couple of more breaths here. And release. Keeping your legs forward. So when we do Paschimottanasana, usually our intention is we're kind of drawing ourselves forward and using the arms. This time we're going to use the core muscles. Inhale, bring your arms up just to lengthen your body. Okay, now, no intention to actually grab your feet. Draw yourself forward. You're using core muscles to draw yourself forward. Nice deep breaths. Legs are engaged. So your toes are pointing up to the ceiling. With deep breaths. With every exhale, draw yourself forward just a little bit more. This is to your degree. And then let's just place the hands on the floor. Promise yourself you're not going to pull. Don't push your hands into the floor for this one. Your legs are engaged, but you're using your exhale, belly button into the spine to lengthen your spine and draw the crown of your head towards your feet. Keep your face relaxed. Now with yourself, wherever your torso is, engage your legs even more. Really contract your quadriceps. Maybe you can even get your butt muscles in there. See if you can draw your feet and really squish everything. And then completely relax everything. Let yourself sort of ragdoll over your legs a little bit more. Deep breaths though. With your inhale, your belly may be pressing against your thighs. Maybe you haven't folded forward that much to get your belly towards your thighs yet. That's fine. Okay, wherever your torso is at, let's engage the legs again. Completely contract all the muscles in your legs. Toes draw up to the ceiling, heels press away from you. See if you can intentionally do more with your calf muscles. Quadriceps tight, butt muscles tight. Still breathe. You can engage all of everything from your waist down and not affect anything from the waist up. And completely relax. The engagement and relaxing of muscles when you are in a stretching pose like this is that is an isometric stretching practice. If you're working on your splits, that's also a way to do it as well. Arms alongside your ears, lengthen your torso, bring yourself up. And arms down to the sides. So now we actually are going to try the side splits. Not really, but we're going to do wide angle pose. Bring yourself so that I like to be on my mat because I have diva heels that don't like to touch the floor. This is another one. If you feel like you need to sit on a blanket for this, do it. So with this one, we're going to practice more isometrics with the arms. This is going to possibly feel super weird. So your hands are going to go down to the floor, fingers facing towards one another, and they're not that far away from your body. You're going to lean forward though, so that your chest is a little bit further forward of your hands and press into the floor as much as possible. Perhaps you can lift your legs off the floor. I have seen some yogis that can do that and some gymnasts that can do that. Press into the floor. Are you saving Ahsoka? She's suffering badly, apparently. Oh my gosh. Were you dying out there? Keep pressing into the floor. Press as hard as you can. Relax your arms. So let's go into the forward fold of this pose, walking your hands forward. We're going to do what we did with Paschimottanasana. Flex your feet, toes point up to the ceiling, engage everything. Fold forward using core muscles if possible. Inhaling, expanding your belly, exhaling, drawing your belly button into your spine and seeing how core muscles can pull you forward so that you're not pulling on your hands, pulling your arms. Keep your face relaxed. Okay, relax your legs. Let yourself sink into the space that you've created there. Keep focusing on your breath. Your inhales, belly expands. Exhale, draw your belly button into your spine. See if you can, this one's a hard one too with your body because most people's tight hamstrings are going to make you want to round your back. See how much you can lengthen your spine, especially with that exhale. Maybe you feel like you're engaging everything in your back body to draw your shoulder blades together too. Okay, one more time. Let's flex the feet, toes point up to the ceiling. Even try to draw your toes towards your body. Engage everything, butt muscles, hamstrings, quadriceps, calf muscles, all the way down. Keep it out of your face though. Soft jaw, soft shoulders. Okay, relax your legs. Fall into the space you've created. Deep breaths. Walk yourself up, torso's upright. Once again, let's do one more isometric pressure with the hands. Palms press into the floor, lean forward. Maybe you can feel a little bit more of yourself lifting off the floor. Try to use arm pressure, arm strength, and core strength to lift yourself up if that's even a thing. And release. Grab onto your knees, bring them in. Give yourself a little bit of a hug just to release the hamstrings and the quadriceps. Okay, let's go for different hamstrings. Let's go for double pigeon. Left ankle underneath. So left leg on the bottom, right leg on the top. Stack your ankles. Knees over ankles. Do your own ankle policing. Take a peek forward. Make sure that your left ankle actually is forward of your right knee. Okay, sit nice and tall. So this may be a little bit more challenging if this is already a super tight pose, which it is for most people. So I'm not making that statement, assuming that everybody's super bendy here. Place your hands on the floor. So let's say like maybe 6 inches behind your knees, right? So they're forward of your shoulders so that you need to lean forward for your shoulders to be over your wrists. Press into the floor with your hands. Press, press, press. As if you could lift yourself up the floor, maybe you can. Relax. Sit tall. Maybe you can start to tip yourself forward, placing your hands in front. Bring your torso up. Let's go for one more isometric pressure. So again, your hands are going to be closer towards your knees than your hips. Okay, so they're forward, tip forward, press into the floor. Belly draws into your spine. And release. Maybe your hands can come in front. Okay, bring yourself up. Let's undo this pretzel here and do the other side. So get your legs out straight, bounce them up and down, just release all that. Rock them side to side. Okay, right leg is on the bottom, left leg on top. This side is gonna probably be different. That's fine. Make sure your right ankle is forward of your left knee. Essentially what I'm trying to get you to do is make sure that this right shin is parallel to the top of the mat so that it's not tucked under too much. We're looking for a different angle on the knee. Sit nice and tall. Let yourself settle in for a second. And then find that positioning on your hands. So you're closer to your knees than you are your hips. Hands press into the mat. Press, press, press. Press as hard as you can, as if you're trying to lift your butt up off the floor. And release. Sit nice and tall. Realign yourself, and then maybe see if you can start to tip forward. Try to keep your legs relaxed in this part. Bring yourself up. Okay, find that hand position again. Closer to your knees and your hand than your hips. Lean forward just a little bit. Press into the floor. Draw the belly button into the spine on the exhales. And release. Bring yourself forward one last time. Everything's relaxed. Double pigeon's a hard one. I have to keep reminding myself, relax my face, my shoulders, my hips. Those are the three things that I always feel myself tense up on. So I'm always trying to find a position where I can support myself so that I can let everything go. Bring yourself up, legs in front, bounce them up and down. And after a few bounces, rock your feet side to side. One last one. Let's do reverse plank. Hands behind your shoulder or behind your hips, underneath your shoulders, fingers face towards your hips. You can also have your fingers face away from your hips. That's something I experienced at the gym recently. Not sure I like it that much, but anyway, point your toes. Lift your hips. Work on getting your hips to press. Clint's got an extra 10-pound cat on his body. All right, press your hands into the floor. It's less about any other part of your body. We're changing the intention on this pose. Press your hands into the floor. Engage all the muscles in your body. Strengthen, engage quadriceps, butt muscles, feet. Lift your toes, lower your hips. Nice. Come forward into regular plank. Start with your knees under your hips, wrists under your shoulders, and then step back from there. Simple plank. Press the floor away from you. Change the intention of your plank pose using the isometric pressing that we've just been doing. Press your hands into the floor. Soften your face and jaw. Inhaling belly towards the floor, exhaling belly pulls into the spine. The thing about plank, you're changing your relationship to gravity here. Your abdominal muscles are now horizontal, parallel to the planet. So it's a whole different relationship. All right, knees to the floor. Let's come back into a child's pose. Nice, easy pose. Bring yourself up and come onto your back. So we're going to do one last thing right before Shavasana. So this is going to take us into our Shavasana. So laying flat for your Shavasana. Feet are wider than the mat, arms out to the side. If you've ever done Yoga Nidra, this is kind of the beginning to Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra means sleep. So let's start with the feet and the legs. Engage all the muscles in the feet and the legs like we've been doing. Engage your butt muscles, quadriceps, hamstrings. Squinch your feet however you can. Try to keep everything else relaxed. And relax everything in your legs. Do both arms at the same time, hands, ball up your fists. Engage all the muscles, all up your arms, however that feels, whatever that's like for you. And relax. Okay, let's do the torso and the belly. Engage everything, see what you can do here. And relax. Let's do the face, squint your face. And relax. Let's do the entire body. When you're ready, engage everything. And relax. Maybe you can find a little bit more length out of your spine. Take a deep inhale and sigh. Take another deep inhale And sigh. Find an effortless breath. Notice the weight of your body on the floor. Notice what's in contact with the floor. Notice your breath. Notice the movement of your breath. Notice the clothing on your body. The feeling of cloth touching your skin as you breathe. And notice sensations in your body parts that you feel aren't moving as much. When we think that something is going to bring us pleasure, we don't know what's really going to happen. When we think something is going to give us misery, we don't know. Letting there be room for not knowing is the most important thing of all. We try to do what we think is going to help, but we don't know. We never know if we're going to fall flat or sit up tall. When there's a big disappointment, we don't know if that's the end of the story. It may just be the beginning of a great adventure. I read somewhere about a family who had only one son. They were very poor. This son was extremely precious to them, and the only thing that mattered to his family was that he bring them some financial support and prestige. Then he was thrown from a horse and crippled. It seemed like the end of their lives. 2 weeks after that, the army came into the village and took away all the healthy, strong men to fight in the war. And this young man was allowed to stay behind and take care of his family. Life is like that. We don't know anything. We call something bad, we call it good, but really, we just don't know. Deepen your breath. Move your fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Reach your arms above you. Stretch your legs away from you. And when you're ready, roll to one side. Feel the sensation of your body now on your side. How that changes your breath a little, the movement, the feeling of your clothing against your skin. And then when you're ready, bring yourself back up to your easy seated position. Sit nice and tall, lengthening your spine away from the floor. Lifting the sides of your mouth away from your shoulders. Take a deep inhale and blow it out. Deep inhale. Blow it out. One more deep inhale. And blow it out. And find your natural breath. Think of something you're grateful for. This can be something seen as wonderful, or maybe there was some calamity that actually caused something positive to happen. Think of something that brings you joy. It can be something super weird. Take some of this positive energy and let it release from your body, like butterflies lifting off of a tree. Let them go wherever they will. May all beings in the universe be happy and free, and may our actions and our thoughts contribute to their happiness and their freedom. Namaste. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. Have a wonderful Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you on Wednesday.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.